And welcome back. The People's Theater Project makes theater, I should say, with and for the immigrant communities to build a more equitable and just world. Now, in recent news, New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced the PTP will own and operate its first of its kind immigrant research and performing arts center. And here we have, sharing with us details, the founding executive director of the People's Theater Project, Mino Lora. Mina, glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here today.
Great. So, give me a little bit more. Tell us about the People's Theater Project.
So the People's Theater Project was founded in 2008 now, so it's been almost 14 years. And we've been working in Upper Manhattan and the Bronx, working, as you said, with and for the immigrant community. So we create theater with the community, whether it's seniors, adults, or young people in schools. We have three main pillars of our programming. We work in partnership with schools. We're in 19 different schools in the Northwest Bronx, and in Washington Heights, Inwood, and Harlem. And then we also have our Academy for Theater, Leadership, and Activism. So it's for young artists and leaders. And we know that the voices of immigrants and people of color and queer youth need to be centered. So we do that through theater, because there's no better tool to center our voices, humanize our stories, and speak up for justice than doing that. And then the final program that we have is our PTP Academy. So this is a professional ensemble of immigrant artists of color. I am Dominican, so it started in the Heights, me Dominican as the founder, so you can imagine pretty Latino, pretty Dominican. And it's been amazing as we have really delved into our mission, how even our own community, our own actors and ensemble has expanded. We currently have artists, teachers in our ensemble who are from Korea, Uganda, Nigeria, different places in South America, China. So the stories of what makes us come here, how do we deal with assimilation or not, and why not, survival, and then coming into our own place as New Yorkers has been just a joy.
So I talked a few minutes ago about Mayor Eric Adams and announcing the upcoming Immigrant Research and Performing Arts Center. And I want to ask the question about when this center comes forward, what can we expect?
Oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be a few years. We have a lot to do to make that happen, because we're really building it from scratch, right? So we're working closely with the city on that, and our team. But you can expect a place that is home. And home has many meanings, and we recognize that, and that is the challenge that we're putting forward, right? So it will be a cultural center, really focused on immigrant New Yorkers, and all of its diversity. It will have rehearsal studios, soundproof practice rooms for individual artists. It'll have two performance spaces, a smaller theater space, and then a larger flexible theater space, which is very exciting for us, because the work that we do at PTP is devised original theater. It's physical theater, and devised means that we are the playwrights, we are the choreographers, we are the directors. So the ensemble, the community creates it together. So it will have the flexibility that if there is a group of artists in the community uptown in the Bronx who wants to use the space, they're able to use it in different configurations, whether it's the audience just on one side, the audience in the round, the audience in thrust. So really creating that flexibility. It'll also have a cafecito. It'll have a really lobby that can be great for open mics. And we really want this to be as well an organizing space. PTP has been at the intersection of arts and social justice for many years, since the beginning. So this will be a place where you connect with resources as communities, as well as, we're doing civic engagement and registering to vote. So we're excited to continue to build on partnerships that we have and bringing in new partners, not only artistic partners, but beyond.
And when we talk about artists, there's a plethora of them across the city. We've got a countless number, and sometimes it's really hard to put your hands on them.
Yeah.
Some are easily found, but others are hard to find. How do you go about engaging artists when you have this great center and you have this great opportunity for people to be able to become engaged?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is, for us, it's so important, and it was part of the RFP that came out from the city, is that this is an accessible space. right? So that's going to be one of the first things. Tell artists that you get space that is accessible and they will come, because I mean, we've been nomadic for 13 years and trying to find space, and we're at a different place now as an organization than when we started as a grassroots group. So I think we want to make very sure that the place is accessible, right? Subsidized rents, maybe granting free space for artists, and residency programs and partner organizations. So that's going to be one of the key things, right? The flexibility, the accessibility, and then the diversity of programming. When we plan our season, we will be doing those reach outs. We've started building relationships with organizations across New York City. As you said, we have such a diversity of artists throughout. So we've been working in Queens and in Brooklyn, definitely in the Bronx. And most of our actors and community is right here in the Bronx. So we're excited to just continue to get the word out over the next 4 years before we do that ribbon cutting, so that we're building a roster of, this is a place that is for us, by us. Come create work, be an incubator, create work here, premiere it here, and then take it everywhere.
So you're engaging the community, right? And I know that you're talking about really trying to form better partnerships and trying to engage in partnerships, because that's how centers and organizations really take it to the next level. And also part of that community engagement, from what I understand, is that you're also going to include them in the possible naming of the new center?
Yes, we are. So, as part of the request for proposal from the city, this was the proposal was for the IRPAC, Immigrant Research Performing Arts Center, but that doesn't sound as it doesn't flow as well, IRPAC. So we want to that community to have a say. So over the summer and over the fall of this year, we will be doing pop-up events. We will be doing events in barbershops, in the parks, in community spaces, doing surveys be named. And then we will be announcing that when we launch our capital campaign, because we will be needing to raise some money to make sure to complete this project in the fall. So we're very excited to be on the lookout for that, so that everybody can put in their cents and join us and let us know what they think this should be named.
So there's going to be a groundbreaking, I take it. And when will that happen?
So right now it will be in the summer of 2027, and who knows, maybe it can be earlier, but as of now, that is the tentative date, summer of 2027.
And I know I can just tell the excitement. What does it mean for you to be able to have this and to be able to see this coming forward in a community? Because in many ways, a long time coming. You talked about being nomadic, right, and trying to find your way, but now you've got a place, and now you got a place to really lay some roots down.
It's absolutely, and this is huge, right? Especially for an organization, run by Latinas, and artistic director as well, and immigrants, and and it's completely comprised of people of color. It's just very, it's overwhelming. It's exciting. I'm grateful that New York City is putting this investment. I think it can be a model across the country of what happens when you invest in arts and culture as community spaces in communities of color through arts and culture. So it's been, it's really exciting to see it come to fruition. As you said, it's been a fight not only from us, but so many artists and arts organizations uptown, right? This will be the first cultural center, not including Lehman in the Bronx, right? But that's part of a university, part of CUNY. And then in Harlem, right? We have a few institutions, nothing in between. And there's so many of us who live here who deserve, as New Yorkers, to have a space. So we're very excited to be, upholding that and making that come to life.
I often talk, when I talk to people about the arts and culture, that when we talk about the educational system and we see budgets and budget cuts, it's oftentimes arts that first time gets the cut, and it cuts many people out from having an opportunity to actually pursuing this as a career and a means to an end, right? But there's so many people who actually live and make a living through the arts. Do you feel like your center is going to be one that's going to be able to promote that's going to be able to give people careers, and then also to be able to further out the things that they love?
Yes, yes. And thank you for asking that, because, this is also an investment in workforce. We will be hiring. Everybody be on the lookout. We will absolutely be hiring. You're running a space. So these are jobs, right? And also that pipeline of opportunity, because once you have a space, it's not just the actors on the stage, but it's the technical directors, it's the crew, it's the administrators, right? I started on a stage and as a theater director, and am now in nonprofit administration and arts administrator, running and making sure, with we have 25, 30 employees. And these are all, we need more people from our communities to be doing this work. So it is absolutely, hopefully the pipeline through our academy, right, for young people that will be taking place. This will be the home of it, to see all the different facets that they will be doing, the internships that they could be having, and the new people that could be coming in to see arts and culture in New York City is a career. And it doesn't just mean on stage. There's so many roles. Theater is about community. Art is about community. We need so many people to make it happen. And we need those people to be coming from the Bronx and from Upper Manhattan.
And we talk about the Bronx, the borough of the Bronx. How are you going to be able to really serve those right here in this borough?
I mean, culture. I live in the Bronx. I love the Bronx. Culture. I was born in the Bronx, New York. You can't talk about New York City culture without speaking about the Bronx. So we are glad that the space is going to be on 206th Street, literally a 5-minute walk to Fordham. So it's very accessible. It is going to be a Bronx center as well, even though it's located in Inwood. And I'm glad that it's in Inwood because it is that connection between Washington Heights and the Northwest Bronx and Marble Hill. So it will be present through the stories that we're telling. It'll be present through the staff that is hired, through the young people. Right now in our academy, about 50% of our young people and their families are coming from the Bronx, right? So this will be the place where you can hear your stories, hear your music, hear our music and all of our experiences being told on the stage, and then the issues that impact us, right? Whether we're talking about gentrification, whether we're talking about police brutality, whether we're talking about discrimination against immigrants. These are issues that are raised during our performance. Support for small businesses. Our young people just did a piece, really powerful piece of supporting small businesses. Don't just go to the Starbucks, people. Go to the bodega, go to your small businesses and support them, because this is how our families will continue to thrive. So these are the stories that we're going to be telling in all the languages.
Well, we are looking forward to it, and I know that you're excited. We're excited. It seems like a long time coming for you, and even a longer time before this groundbreaking, but time flies when you're having fun. So
That's right.
keep up the great work, and I really want to thank you for being with us, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. And people stay in touch. PTP, like for People's Theater Project.nyc, and you can find all the information. And let's get ready to do some theater.
That's it. That's it. Let's get ready. And listen, again, if you want more information, you can visit the website at peoplestheaterproject.org. Don't forget about social media. You can see them also on Facebook, Instagram at People's Theater Project.